Meanwhile, Jinwoo's stuck in traffic, thinking about his last meeting with Mrs. Sellner. Her terrified look reminds him of something tied to the system, and he figures Mrs. Sellner probably won't want to meet with him again after that encounter. Suddenly, Mr. Go calls to let him know what's going on with the gate. He asks Jinwoo to check it out and deal with the dungeon if he can. Jinwoo figures the traffic jam is caused by the gate. With a faint smile, he agrees, especially after Mr. Go assures him he has full authority to act. A huge gate shows up out of nowhere in the middle of the highway. Jinwoo arrives at the scene shortly, and drivers stuck in traffic are surprised to see him. Some recognize him as the famous S-rank hunter, and they know he's here to handle it. However, an association officer stops him, firmly stating that Jinwoo can't enter without permission. Jinwoo gets frustrated and calls Mr. Go. After a brief conversation, he hands his phone to the officer. The officer's attitude shifts immediately when he realizes it's the association chairman on the line. Jinwoo strolls into the gate, and the officer mutters under his breath, hoping Jinwoo will run into trouble. But those hopes quickly turn to fear as the gate transforms into a red gate. The officer is shocked and can't believe what he's seeing. Inside the dungeon, Jinwoo was surprised to find that the exit was closed. He guessed that he must have entered the red gate and realized he'd overdo it. Suddenly, he remembered his mom's words, telling him to do what he wanted. As an S-rank hunter, Jinwoo would be able to save people as his dad did. His dad was a firefighter before he became a hunter, and his mom fell in love with him because he loved saving people. She also told Jinwoo not to overdo it, and these memories made Jinwoo a little relieved, knowing that his mom was not against him becoming a hunter. Jinwoo sensed that if there weren't too many monsters in this dungeon, he could clear it in one day. Go forth. Jinwoo summoned his shadow warriors, and giant forest guardian monsters began emerging from their hiding spots, triggering a fierce battle. The shadow mage cast fire magic from a distance. Igris stabs a monster right in the head with his sword. Iron goes wild, smashing monsters with his axe, while Tusk and Tank scorch the monsters with their fire magic. Beru goes on a rampage, brutally tearing through monsters with ease. After clearing the area of monsters, Jinwoo paused, his thoughts lingering for a moment. A hunter was born to hunt. Monsters aren't the only enemy for a hunter. Hunters have to be careful so that they don't get hunted as well. So first-rate hunters can't put their guard down even more. Even if there are hundreds of thousands of hunts, the hunt will never